I've had so many requests from people asking if I could show them a bit of our Entertainment USA series from back in the 80s, so I thought I'd test the water out. Here for you is the first 4 minutes of Entertainment USA from Maui back in November 1986, 21 long years ago. I think I'm prettier now.
You would think we were in the cattle-ranching, cowboy southern part of the state of Texas in the United States, but we're not. You might think this was the slopes of France with vineyards growing grapes for wine, but it's not. You'd think we were in a brewery in the heart of Germany, but we're not. We could be amongst the hills beside a loch in deepest Scotland, but we're not. We're on the Pacific island of Maui. Thank you. Hi, and welcome to another brand new series of Entertainment USA. We're starting as we mean to go on in the exotic resort of Maui in Hawaii, America's 50th state. 1.5 million years ago, the demigod Maui got bored, so he decided to go fishing. He dipped his rod towards the sea and fished out a little chain of tiny islands, 132 of them to be precise. The biggest was called Hawaii, so that became the name for all of them. But the second biggest was the prettiest, so he named it after himself. Maui was paradise on Earth. It certainly remains so if you happen to worship sun, sea, sand and swimming, not to mention surfing. Of the 150 miles of coastline, 33 miles are fabulous beaches. Luxury hotels and resorts cater to your every whim if you want to relax, get suntanned and splash in the water. This newest hotel opened 6 years ago, costing $80 million, with the biggest pool in Hawaii containing 850,000 gallons and a few bodies, not all of them attractive. Trees soar up to the sky in the vast tropical lobby, which also contains dozens of multicoloured parrots. I can't understand this obsession with parrots. I don't think they're particularly pretty. They're certainly very stupid. When they speak, they say nothing worth listening to, and you could not describe them as the most affectionate of pets. You can even sip an exotic cocktail out of a pineapple shell. This is a volcano underneath not just one, but 2 waterfalls. They even have this rope bridge so that the tourists can feel like Tarzan or Jane. The only thing is, it's specifically composed so that when anybody walks along, be they fat tourist or elderly television presenter, they very nearly fall off and kill themselves. There are antiques and art objects placed on tables and in every nook and cranny, dragged away from distant India and ancient China. Oh, look, it's me. There are impressive statues to surprise you as you turn corners in the tropical gardens, facilities for scuba diving and snorkeling and spotting the undersea life, romantic corners for the numerous honeymooners or bored convention-bound businessmen. Everywhere you go, loudspeakers play Hawaiian music in the background, bendy guitar notes, the soft twang of steel strings as the slant-eyed ladies remind you to
have a nice day now.
Actually, it's such fun, I think we should see a little bit more. How about me flying in the sky?
Well, I've done a lot of strange filming before, but never anything like this, I can tell you. I'm going up high in the sky. I knew I should never have bought that Donald Duck T-shirt.
Go. Pull back, resist now, tug of war, head toward the corner.
Have fun! Oh, this is quite fun. I'm hundreds of feet above Maui. It's actually quite comfortable. I'm sitting in a sort of strap harness thing and it doesn't need any muscles at all, which is lucky because I haven't got any. I can see all the pineapple fields down there. Can you see them all in rows? The beaches and the hotels. It's much quieter up here than it is down there, except for the wind. I suppose it's the next best thing to hang gliding. Hope the rope doesn't break. It is the most sensational experience. The island's stretching out beneath me. I can see for miles and miles and miles and miles and miles. First thing you realise from high in the sky is that Maui's an island to be explored off the beaten track. Away from the resorts and the main highway lies an amazing volcanic experience, with lush valleys and tropical forests buried deep inside clefts and ridges of lava soil. It's breathtaking because it's so surprising. You just don't expect the sudden radical changes in foliage, climate, colouring and scenery. One moment it's brown, the next it's green. Barren scrub explodes into Pacific luxuriance. Dry sand and desert changes into proud waterfalls virtually as you turn an aerial corner. Look at that one. This is an island of so many different aspects, and every part of the chain's unique. This little island's called Molokini, and in fact they're not unconnected land masses here, but high ridges of a chain of volcanic eruptions. Some are parts of a rim, others craters themselves. Here you'll find a boil on the lip of a volcano, there an entire extinct collection of petrified bubbles and pumice stone hills. We really are in a place where nature awes humanity, and even I can become speechless in wonder. Years and years ago, this part of the island used to be a leper colony, and this tiny zigzag path was the only entrance. They dynamited it and then dropped the poor lepers over the rail of a boat, making them swim to shore. Very tolerant. After that, missionary nurses and doctors and monks came and gave up their own lives looking after others. Is there a message here for today, I wonder?
I think I'm about to get wet. I don't trust the glint in that producer's eye. But I'm trying very hard. Uh-oh, I'm overshooting.
Oh dear. Oh, well, it's all for art. Oh, I'm going up again. We seem to be heading for the state's largest volcano. Oh, we're going over the top. Not an unusual experience for me. Imagine what the explosion must have been like thousands of years ago when the core of the Earth gushed out to cool down eventually as this volcano, 10,025 feet above sea level. The last eruption was almost 200 years ago, so Haleakala is now technically extinct. Maui has only 2 seasons, summer from April to October and winter from now until March. It's 2,400 miles away from mainland America, and this 48 miles by 26 mile community is home to a mere 83,000 regular citizens and a few 100,000 pink and sweaty tourists. George Harrison owns a ranch here, so the British influence still exists since the time of Captain Cook and our adventurous sea-bound explorers.
Now, this is meant to be the safest and easiest thing you can do. They advertise that all kinds of double amputees and grandmothers in wheelchairs can fly paragliding safely, and they never ever get wet. My goodness, I survived. A dry landing. That was great fun. Oh dear. With its volcanic soil, Maui is a garden for all kinds of plants, flowers and fruit. The top 2 crops officially are sugarcane and pineapples. I always thought pineapples grew in the ground and you pulled them out like potatoes, but it seems that isn't so at all.
They pop up like little bulbs with blue and yellow leaves. When young, they look like artichokes. Then they resemble small green model fruit. And eventually, as they ripen and turn golden, they topple over until they're picked and harvested. Then very quickly they become square chunks in tins. It can't be an easy life being a pineapple. You can see other familiar and unfamiliar fruit and veg on the island. Isn't that a hibiscus? They're all in their natural habitat. You can spot bananas, avocados, passion fruit, coffee beans, papayas on funny trees, macadamia nuts before being salted, every one of them only seconds away from being chopped, squashed, ground and eaten by voracious humans.
21 years ago. If you want to see more, let me know.